Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our entitled people. In today's episode, entitled brother finally got what he deserved. Entitled customer didn't know I was more patient than the managers. My BL thinks he can tell me what to do in my own house. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled brother finally got what he deserved. I, 31F, am in shock over the throwdown that I witnessed between my mom, 60s, and my entitled brother, 26M. Bro has been mooching off of my mom and I. She and I co-own our house. Since 2017, he lived rent-free for 4 years. Finally, my mom managed to force him to pay his form of rent by paying some utility bills, a total of about $450 a month. Since 2021. He has never paid his bills willingly. Every month he demands to know why he has to pay the amount and demands proof of the cost, as if my mom was trying to swindle him for some reason. And every time he has finally given us the money for the bills, he has told us he was bailing us out, since we must be broke. Why else would we be making him pay for us? Recently, he has been going off about how he can't wait to leave the house and he wants to save his money to move out, but he simply can't with the cost of all these bills weighing him down. My mother told him since he is so serious about moving out, she will gladly pay for his portion of the bills. She works seasonally, and all he would need to pay was his car insurance. She said she would give him until May 31st to save up as much as he could. He would then need to move out. Since that agreement was made, entitled bro has gone on 2 trips out of state. One was a 4-day bachelor party in New Orleans, has gone to poker nights with his friends multiple times, refuses to so much as wash a dish, and leaves a greasy mess wherever he goes in the house. Meanwhile, my mom has worked 6 days a week to make enough money to cover his expenses. And yet, entitled bro hasn't thanked her once. Every time she asks him to do the simplest task, he ignores her or claims he forgot, despite how often she reminds him. Today, she finally snapped. His one bill that he's responsible for was due 4 days ago, and he never paid her. She texted him and reminded him verbally many times. She asked via text one last time today, and he finally responded by asking her to give him a receipt so she can prove his insurance costs what she claimed it cost, and he never sent the money. She lost it and said she is sick of catering to him without so much as a thank you. She said she wants peace, and he is no longer worth the trouble she goes through. She said she is removing him from the car insurance tomorrow and that he no longer has until the end of May to move out. He has 3 weeks. That's it. She's threatened to kick him out before and hasn't gone through with it yet, but this time felt different because I have never seen her go nuclear like that before, and entitled bro must have felt that same way because he went through the 5 stages of grief about 100 times during that fight. He screamed, cried, accused, name-called, tried to pull me in to defend him, tried to pull in his dad, lives 2 hours away, to defend him, tried to call my mom's sisters to defend him, claimed getting his own insurance was an emotional burden, claimed she needs professional help because she is obviously out of her mind, said that she obviously doesn't care about him. Otherwise, why would she so cruelly deprive him of such valuable resources? He went on and on for 3 hours, and she didn't budge. I don't want to get my hopes up that she'll stick to that 3-week deadline, but this is the closest she's come to evicting him. I hope this will scare him into leaving before she has to. If you can find a way to tell her you appreciate her courage, and if she needs emotional support, to tell you what she needs from you, do that. It doesn't matter how old someone is or the role they take on, everyone needs support and encouragement. It's never too late to have an adult interaction with a parent. It's good when it comes from your own child. Also, as half owner of the house, let your mom and entitled brother that you support her decision 1000%. You can even offer to help him pack, in case he decides to pack items that are not his. If you co-own the house, then you can also kick him out. Kick him out and change the locks today. Or at the very least, stand with mom when it is time for baby to go and stand firm. Just to get the ball rolling, I would start getting boxes and load all his stuff in it. Have your mom help as well. This shows your brother this is serious, and it also helps your mom stick to the promise. Good for your mama. Your brother is acting like an entitled man-child. My little sister's 8. I read this to them. BC, they like to read stories with me. Call him a baby. It's time brother leans some responsibilities and respect for those who care. Entitled customer didn't know I was more patient than the managers. I work at a college town bowling alley, and most of my coworkers do go to said college or nearby high schools. I'm lucky to have supervisors who let us stick up for ourselves when people are a bit unreasonable. 9/10 times a supervisor will allow us to kick out someone on a 3-strike basis. A guy and his son came in and he was being really rough on our equipment, stepping on our lanes, even chipped a ball after he jumped the gutter. I was new to the job and being nice and just kept track of how many times he broke each rule. I informed him of the rules gently every time he broke one, and the 5th time I talked to him he goes, "EC, do you know who my wife is?" Me, your wife's status doesn't change our company's rules. Step on the lane to bowl like that again, and my supervisor will be escorting you out. EC, you won't want to do that if you go to college nearby. Me, I didn't. EC, she's on the board there. He had a smug look, expecting me to bend over backwards now. Me, that's nice. If you retrieve your own ball again or hit our lane sweep again, you're getting kicked out. Keep in mind I was still 1 month into this new job. My manager that day was known for her no bullshit customer policy among the workers, and I was being nice, trying to be the middleman and filtering what my manager said. EC, no, I'm not. I paid for an hour, I'm playing an hour. I'll make sure you lose this job too. Insinuating I won't be able to attend the local college, which is fine because I didn't like the local college. I shrug and get my supervisor. Opie told me a bit about the situation. EC, good, I want our wasted time to be refunded, and I want that employee written up for pointlessly bothering me. My wife is on the college board and I can't wait to tell her about this. You are aware I was just at the counter? 5 feet away. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave. EC, I paid to bowl. You explain this to my son. His son was like 6. Right. She knelt to the confused boy. Your daddy won't follow the rules, so I'm afraid you can't play anymore until he says sorry to the nice lady helping you. EC got mad and started yelling expletives, insults and the like, saying she wasn't really the supervisor because she looked like she was in high school. She was. Demanded to talk to someone higher despite my supervisor saying she was the highest one on duty. The GM's little sister was working that day and got a video of the whole thing since it was so close to the counter to send to her brother. The general manager came soon after. He's like a year older than me and demanded EC leave. He was no longer welcome there, and he hopes his wife does hear about this incident. EC then called GM a liar, that he was too young to be a GM because he didn't even look 30. He then pulled the "I'm friends with the owner" bull, that we will all be fired because of how we handled this. It took threatening police to get him to leave. We told the owner the next day and, "Oh, yeah, I thought we banned that guy. He broke lane 16. I love this story. You have the best managers. So supportive, and I love the teamwork. Please put a sign up saying, we don't care who your wife is. Banned means banned." I also suggest that the owner lets the local college know that the husband of one of their staff has been telling people that he has influence over who the college admits. We've started a list of names of people not allowed to bowl anymore, and we've been training on checking names on cards. But that's not a bad idea. I'll ask the owner next time I have a shift with him. Maybe I'm a dinosaur, but I would have been too embarrassed to flex my wife at you. I work with customers. If they don't accept what I say and ask to speak with my manager, I gleefully jump up and say, "Okay, but I'm the nice one," and skip away to get him. And then they see they should have stuck with me. I love my manager. My BL thinks he can tell me what to do in my own house. Hello guys, I think that the title talks by itself at this point. My wife's family is older Bill, 34M, married, Cadet Bill, 30M, and my wife, 28F. He decided to go vegan and eco-friendly for some reason. I support vegans, just don't F with my food, and teases me and my wife about the cars. One's electric, other one's hybrid, because the batteries pollute. Teases the solar panels for the same reason. Gets angry to a juicy steak and freaks out when I cook meat, and even his parents are like, WTF, he's smoking? Anyways, he says that our dogs shouldn't be inside all the time. Garden doors open, they can if they want, etc. And once he criticized my wife because he told me he would go buy some groceries, and he teased her again by saying, don't forget to liberate 5 kilograms of CO2. Like, what does he mean? And I told him to shut it and pointed his old gas car. He said that his car had eco mode, DK what that means, and I told him that he could do what he wants at his home, not mine. He instantly became aggressive, but he backed off and left. Can somebody explain how people can be so weird? Edit for info. I'm talking about the cadet, 30M. Update. Hi guys, I finished work early today, so I thought it would be the perfect time to update since the traffic is jammed right now. I first thought to talk to him and shut him off like you asked, and yes, I actually am a horrible husband for not doing it first. But instead of doing it by discussions like you asked, I made the decision to piss him off as a counterattack with all the good ideas and comebacks to his stupid remarks, and only then cut him off because I feel like I need revenge for years of constant BS. Call me childish for it, but I need to get my revenge, and thanks for your support so far. I blame it on electronic media. In the old days, our media came daily on cheap paper called newspapers. We could roll it into a tube and bat people like this across the nose. Can't do that with an iPhone without something breaking. My mom and dad just pulled the red foreman and bopped us in the back of the head. Iconic is my uncle who slapped a bucket of marbles on the table during an argument with my cousin, who was mouthing off at his mom and said, "Here, since you have obviously lost yours."
I remember my grandma doing this to me. It always made us shut up. He is very entitled, like WTF. First he insults and teases you in your own house, and then he insults your wife. TF did she grow up with if her brother and mom are both such asshats? I would AK8 eat them out so fast. His car has eco mode, ha 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 ha. So he's not just a self-righteous prick but also a super big dum-dum too. Clown shit.